Hello, hello. I don't know, the chat never shows up until I go to live chat, so gotta see that. So sorry, my hair is a mess right now. Good evening to you. Uh, oh, happy Canada Day to you guys too. Thanks, Dave. Good evening to you, Patty, Kiri. Hello, Betsy Ross Design. And you remember that all the way from elementary school. That is great. That is awesome. Um, yes. So she did make the first flag. So, and I know this is like right all in Dave's territory. I mean, just all the history and everything's right there. So you probably know all of this stuff. But hey, you're just blessed and living in that area. So it's we in the western half of the United States are a little bit further removed from all of that history. And although Minnesota's got quite a bit of history going on, but not like what you have. We've got a lot of other things. So, anyway, how's everybody's week so far? It's only Monday, but how was your weekend? And what are your plans for the 4th? I'd like to know what your plans are. Oh, that's good, Patty. That's awesome. Yes. You're right. It's all different kinds of history, all different kinds of history. And, we've got, no, I was just reading Fort Sumter, so that's in my brain, but so it's not Fort Sumter. But, we've got, Minnesota's just packed full of history and the Dakotas and everything with all of the Sioux and the Chippewa and all that kind of stuff, as well as the trappers and our iron ore history and the French settling in on the Mississippi and just I mean all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I've got a lot there too. So anyway, and tomorrow there's a chance of rain. It was at 80%. Now it's down to 50%. So who knows what it's going to end up being. But I do have the option to hit some really grand fireworks in the evening tomorrow night, um, or to go to my my brothers for a tractor parade. When I say tractor, it can be anywhere from a little kid's toy tractor, not what they hold, but that they ride to a farm tractor and everything in between. So I don't know. I did a video on that one year. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that or not, but anyway, that's their annual 4th of July parade around their lake shore. It's just their neighborhood and everything. But you hear thunder? Ooh, I hope you get some rain and cools it off for you. Um, Thanks, Alicia. Thank you. Lewis and Clark. Okay. Oh, that's so true. I love that. Now, Patty, were you born and raised out in Oregon? I don't remember your history with that. I just don't remember what you were there. So you're going to Tractor Supply tomorrow to buy fences so you can start the battle against your rogue beaver. Oh, that's going to be big. Oh, wow. Yeah. Even if it's just one animal, they can just be so destructive to our places, that's for sure. You visited Sutter's Fort and the Alamo? Cool. You are looking for the Ark on a third week of rain. Man, I wish I was getting some of that rain. We did have, what day was it? Was it yesterday? No, or was it Saturday? I can't remember. The days are running together. But we did have, we've been getting showers maybe once a week, but it's like like a 10-minute downpour and then it goes. And so we get maybe a quarter of an inch. If we're lucky, half inch or something, but then we're in the 80s and 90s and hot, dry, sunny. And so it just dries up everything right away. So there's not enough to like soak down into anything. And So we need some good rain. Like I said, there's a chance tomorrow, and it was supposed to be 3 days, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but now it's not. So, but now they're showing chance Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and next Wednesday. So, but the good news is that our temperatures are going down. We're going to be mostly in the 70s for the next 10 days after today. I mean, today's high was like 86 or something, but um so you've lived in Oregon since you were 12. You've lived in Colorado and Idaho too before you. Okay. I was just wondering where you were born for some reason that was striking. Thank you, Alicia. 3 inches yesterday. Today. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you have the alfalfa for your animals there, Kiri. That's good. Um, hey, Howie. Good evening to you. Um, yeah, it's in fact Wednesday. Our high is 68. So we go from 90 something down to 68 for highs. So oh, it's, you know what? Usually around the 4th of July, though, we do get a cool night. I mean, the lowest can be 49 in the middle of the summer. So, but we do tend to get just like that last little cool burst around the 4th of July. And then 2 weeks later is like in the hundreds. It just heats right up. Um, Hot and dry here with some wind. 97. Oh no. Oh my goodness. That's just too hot. I can't handle that kind of stuff. Um, so anyway, yeah, it's so nobody's really said anything about what you're doing. Are you having a picnic tomorrow? Are you going to fireworks? Are you having family over? Are you going to friends? Are you, it's like, what are your plans for tomorrow? Um, I just really chilled today. I was busy all weekend running and doing everything, and it was a crazy week. A lot of meetings, a lot of difficult meetings. Let's put it that way, and stressful. So and then just busy. So today, really, I just kind of chilled all day. There are a lot of people closed for work, a lot of people not at work, and so I just was like, you know what, I'm just chilling. So I spent most of the day reading and doing a few things, but it was so nice. So tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but you have work drama too. Oh, I know. I don't like drama. I just really don't. You'll be at friends tomorrow? Okay. Oh, that's true, Patty. I hope it's healing well. Oh, Canada Day. Well, congrats on Canada Day, Alicia. So, Kitty went with your brother to see Silver's musical ride downtown. Oh, how fun for her. That's nice. And I'm glad that you're cooling down, Kiri. That's good. Need to do that. So no plans. Well, yeah, the garden is growing. I think I need to fertilize now because it's been, when did I plant? 3 weeks ago, I planted, and I mean, things are up and doing well, but um, I've had to water a lot. And so when it's cold well water, it's not the nutritious rainwater that comes down. So I think I need to fertilize and get things going with that. Oh, good, Kiri. Good. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Um, Alicia, I would love to. I just haven't had I don't know. Editing takes so long. It takes me a minimum 4 or 5 hours to edit a 7-minute video. So it's just a lot of work. People don't realize how long it takes. And so I don't mind filming it. I've got a lot of stuff in the archives that are filmed, but it's just editing. So I will try. I can give you that. I will try, but I can't promise anything. And I have a lot of things going on here this summer too. In upkeep in the house, or not in the house, well, in the house too, but around the property. And going to have contractor in and construction and different things going on. So, so anyway, but that's true, Dave. That's so true. Some good water. So, um, a 5-minute video could be 2 hours of footage. That's so true. Yep. It takes a lot of slicing and dicing, like 100 little pieces in in 5 minutes or something. So, Joy, hello. How are you? Oh, that's a good way to spend the holiday. Just some chill time there. Um, so anyway, yes, but the things are growing. Carrots are up a couple inches. The my green onions are up 3 to 4 inches, something like that. My other onions, my volunteer onions, are growing well. They're, like I said, I have 2 plants that I left for seed. So we'll see how many seeds. I don't know how many seeds come off of one blossom, but I figure even getting 2 of them to give me seed should do pretty well. I don't know. Um, the mint that I planted peppermint and spearmint that I bought the plants at the nursery, and they have like quadrupled in size. They just are loving this weather. So I'm gonna have to go and do some trimming back and drying some leaves. Parsley seems to be doing well. The chives I had to drastically cut back, and they're taking a little bit to bounce back at this point. So, but I think if I give them a shot of some fertilizer, I think they'll do better. Um, Lemon balm's taking a while to come up. The basil is starting to. What else to have out there? The zucchini, they're doing pretty well. Again, could probably use a good boost. The beans are all doing well. What else do I have out there? All my annual flowers are doing well. So, all in all, things are growing and we're doing. So, tomatoes are alive but no flowers. Yeah, I know. Yay, mint, right? It's like it doesn't take much, and they'll just grow. They don't care. Um, yeah, Carrie, anything over 90 is going to kill those blossoms. So I'm sorry about that. Um, hopefully they can reblossom for you. Um, is it potassium or phosphorus? I think it's phosphorus, right, for the blossoms. Um, you guys help me out. I'm drawing a blank right at this moment, but yeah, to try to help that blossom out a little bit better, to get them kick-started again. We had that 3 years in a row when they started setting fruit. Oh, yeah. Yep. It's hard. Phosphorus. There you go. Thank you, Patty. I knew you would do it. So, otherwise, yeah, things are growing. I kind of like this stage. I just go out and water and watch them grow. And it's like, because there's not that much work involved. It's like when you start harvesting, then it's like all the canning and the preserving and the different things. So, which is good too. But I guess I'm getting old. Either that or I just have too much on my plate. I don't know. So, but anyway, I just wanted to go through, as I was researching the flags and stuff, there were so many that I had no idea that we had. So, right, Patty? It's like, oh, okay, we got all this going on. Then I see all these other things, and of course, I'm still working too. So, let me see. I have a really good thing. I didn't get a chance to get this into the show notes, but This is a really good link. It's kind of what I'm going to be going by. But I have the pictures. I took screenshots on my phone so you guys can see because I don't have StreamYard. Maybe some year I will do that. I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys some of the things. So it's 1775. The American ships in New England waters, so that would be in New England, around Massachusetts, Connecticut, around there. They flew a Liberty Tree flag in 1775. It shows a green pine tree on a white background. So that's what it says, appeal to heaven. And that was our flag for the very, very, very start of our union and everything. So that was in 1775. So actually that year we had 5 different flags. So the next one was called, the Continental Navy used this flag. People have heard that. It says, "Don't tread on me." So anyway, that was the next one, or the Continental Navy flew that at the same time. So the first one was the American ships, and then the actual formed Navy did that one. And then we had the Sons of Liberty right there. Sons of Liberty. And it's just plain stripes. And that was a Sons of Liberty flag. And then we had the New England flag because that was really all that was settled at that point, where everything was starting. Sorry about the light reflection up there. Is it so you guys can see that okay? And this is called the New England flag. And it's the tree with the red, white, and blue stripes. And then we have what they call the Forster flag. I couldn't find any history on that. So I don't know if, Dave, you have a speck of wisdom on that, what the Forster flag means. And it's Forster, not like a forest. It's just the Forster flag. So if you don't know that one, whoop, there you go. Something you need to research then. Here, I'm going to turn this light off so it's not so glary for you guys. There you go. You do know the pine tree ones, though. Yeah. So those were all in 1775. So then in 1776 was the first kind of official, well, somewhat semi-official flag, but anyway, it's getting closer to what we have now, but it's called the Grand Union flag. And so it's got the continental colors, and it was displayed on Prospect Hill. Again, 13 alternating red and white stripes, and then the British Union Jack in the corner. So that was the Grand Union flag. Then in that same year, 1776, you wonder if there is an Earth flag. We can muster behind it as aliens, maybe here to consume. What you smoking here tonight, Howie? You like that one with the Union Jack? Well, of course you would, because it's got British stuff in there. Okay, now this is the Betsy Ross flag. That was the one that she sewed the first American flag for us, and that has 13 stars for the first 13 colonies. So there you go. I like that, Dave. That's good. We taste bitter. They don't want to have anything to do with our bickering, right? Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad. So it's a Betsy Ross flag in 1776. So those were the two, the Grand Union and then the Betsy Ross flag. Okay, I've got to find. Um, did I miss this one? Hold on a second. Okay. There was another one that the stars were in a different pattern. So I must not have taken a shot of that one. Is the 13 stars and then the 13 stripes. Okay, so that was in 1777. That one started. Then they had what they called the Cowpens flag, and that looked like that. So that was in 1777. It says, according to some sources, this flag was first used in 1777. It was used by the 3rd Maryland Regiment. There was no official pattern for how the stars were to be arranged. So the flag was carried at the Battle of Cowpens. Just how it sounds like it's spelled. It's one word, Cowpens. Yep, they're just closing in on it there. Which took place that battle took place on January 17th, 1781 in South Carolina. The actual flag from that battle hangs in the Maryland State House. So that was Cowpens. Then we have the Brandywine flag. I couldn't help but think of The Hobbit in Lord of the Rings with Brandywine, It's the Brandywine Bridge, Brandywine River. So they don't give any history behind this, but so anyways, this is all in 1777. Then in June of, is that the right one? Okay. June 14th, the Continental Congress adopts the following flag, and that would be the one the design that Betsy Ross did. So that one, June 14th, 1777, it was resolved that was the flag. So they also called it the Resolution flag. So it was, the Congress said it will be alternating red and white stripes. The Union had 13 stars and a blue field representing a new constellation, as in a new country. So new constellation. I know, isn't that kind of cool? So in that, for the 13 stars, they represent Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, and Rhode Island. So those were the 13 original states and colonies. So thanks, Alicia. I thought that would be kind of fun. So you have a question. Okay, how do you? Good question, Howie. Okay, moving on to 1779. I gotta find the flag here. I kind of took the pictures out of order, so I have to find them. Okay, so you can see the stripes are different. We now still have the 13 stars, but the stripes, and this is called the John Paul Jones flag, also called the Serapis flag. So John Paul Jones, John Paul Jones was he was famous in the Navy in the for the Revolutionary War, and John Paul Jones, he wasn't the one that said "Give me liberty or give me death," was he? I'm mixing him up with somebody else, I bet. but I thought that's what he did. So anyway, they don't really say why the stripes were different, other than maybe it had to do with the Navy adding something in there or something like that. I'm not sure. um, so, all right. So that was in 1779. Then in 17, Patrick Henry. Okay, that's what I thought. Because yeah, Patrick Henry. Thank you. I figured it was somebody else, and the name just wasn't coming to mind. I'm tired today, even though I rested today and chilled. My brain is not functioning. I guess that's right for not working today. My brain is not on top of things. So, it's still pretty bruised. I know it's bruised or earthling. Yeah, are you ripe and juicy and tasty, or are you bruised and battered and old stuff? Wrinkly on the outside. Wouldn't be very tasty. So, oh man, this is going downhill real quick. Okay, the next one in 1781. I think they said I think they said we have had like 27 different flags. We know about the one that Betsy Ross did, and adding stars and stuff, but we never think that we had 27 different flags, which is pretty amazing, because we've had the last one we've had for what, 50, 60, 70 years or something like that. So I'll find out what it is. So our next one looked like this. It's called the Guilford flag. Guilford, now 1781. No history was given behind this, though, so I'm not sure. Okay, good. Um, all right. Then the next one. Is that the right one? Three. Okay. These are just squished up a little bit more in the field, it looks like. So in 1795, so now we're already 23 years, no, 24 years, sorry, 1790, 19 years. See, my math is even off. 19 years after the Revolutionary War began. So, or the founding of our country, I should say. So we have the stars 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's 15 stars now, and 15. And then they made it into 15 stripes. Interesting, right? So they added Vermont and Kentucky. So at this point, they're like, well, we want to have as many stripes as we do stars, because that's how many states we have. Starting to look a little bit more like the modern flag, yes. But again, they have the 15 stripes. So that was 1795. Then we jump right up to 1803. So almost 20 years later. And this is called the Indian Peace Flag. So, which is really interesting. I'd never heard of that one before. This chart doesn't give the history on it, so I'm sure that we could probably find something about it. Yeah, there's like in my screenshot, there's a website down there. What is it? crwflags.com. So anyway, that's the Indian Peace Flag in 1803. So we must have been doing a lot of treaties at that point in time. So Grammy Karen, hello. How are you doing down in Kentucky? So that's 1803. So then in September 14th, 1814. So to go back 2 years, in 1812 was the beginning of the War of 1812 against England and everything, because they were like, they figured we were rebellious long enough and they wanted to get us back, so they came back and just like, started another war. Must have been the next generation because they figured that we'd forgotten what we did. So anyway, so September 14th, this was flying over uh, the 15 Stars and Stripes. That one was flying over Fort Sumter, right? And so that's where there was a battle going on in there. And Francis Scott Key was on a ship and he saw that going. He saw the flag as all the battle is raging around and everything. And he wrote the Star Spangled Banner in 1814. So, all right. So, also in 1814, there was another flag that was designed. Again, they didn't give the history on this, which I wish I could have had time to do all that, but that would have taken me days to get it all in. But anyway, it's called the Easton flag. So I don't know if it was somebody that, was like an admiral or something like that and wanted a flag on his own ship or, on his yacht or whatever it was, or over his island or something like that. I don't know. But hey, Christy, how are you? Um, oh, well, hopefully you can get something out of it, Christy. So anyway, the Easton flag. So again, we have it should be 15 stars there and the stripes, but just in a whole different order there. Obviously, this design did not take. So it must have been somebody else trying to get creative saying, the other one is just like too boring. We need to have something different here. So anyway, then we jump to, that's so cool, Christy. Aw, that's so great. Now we've got 20 stars. So we've got 5 across, 4 going up and down. So 20 stars, we're back to 13 stripes. So we gave up on the 15 because now we're at 20 stars and you can't, the 20 stripes, it was just getting ridiculous, right? So, I mean, can you imagine 50 stripes going? It's like, no. So they wanted to continue with the 13 colonies for the stripes and then just keep adding stars for the states. So at this point, this is 1818. And now the states that were added was Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi. So we've got those added here. All right, 1818. 1819 added another star. Oh yeah, I didn't take pictures of all of these because it's just like, okay, they added 1 or 2 more stars in it, but it was all the same thing with the field. They just started adding more stars in. So in 1819, it went to 21 stars. When we added Illinois, we got old Chicago there. In 1820, so this is like every year we start adding another state. That's just amazing how fast it grew, right? So in 1820, we now had 23 stars. So we had Alabama and Maine joined the Union. And the one with 23 stars was the first flag on Pikes Peak. So anybody here from Colorado, that's a pretty cool thing. So the flag with 23 stars by 1820. So somewhere in the era of 1820 to 1830, they made the Bennington flag was made. According to some accounts, so this one has a little history here. So Alaska and Hawaii being added. That's so cool. I'm thinking Hawaii was the year I was born, but I'm not sure. So the Bennington flag. This is the Bennington flag, 76. So again, 1776 was the beginning of our country. Um, so it's sometimes also called the Fillmore flag. It was flown at the Battle of Bennington. The story goes that Nathaniel Fillmore took this flag home from the battlefield, and the flag was passed down through generations of Fillmores, including Millard. Everybody hear of Millard Fillmore? He was a president. Um, and today it can be seen at Vermont's Bennington Museum. Most experts doubt this story and date the flag to about 1820 to 30. So anyway, that's a story that's been passed down. So, okay, Howie, thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it. Enjoy those berries. Spent your honeymoon on Pikes. What a deal, Joy. That's so cool. Bennington, the Battle of Bennington. It doesn't say, but well, it must be because it's Vermont's Bennington Museum. So I bet you it is Vermont. So that would be close in your neighborhood there. So anyway, that's 2 stars on top and 10, 11. So again, this was just back to the 13 colonies in 1776. So then we're back to this style in 1822. It went to 24 stars, adding Missouri. 1836, so we had 14 years of no new states in the Union. I think they were pretty busy with having 24 in there. But in 1836, we added Arkansas. 1837, we added Michigan. And by this time, we have 26 stars with Michigan in there. Then in 1837, again, no explanation with this one. You've been into the museum? That's so cool, Dave. In 1837, they made the Great Star flag. So you see the Great Star there. So now it would have 27 stars most likely in there. I didn't count them all, but that should be how many there are. But anyway, the Great Star flag. And they didn't give a reason for that, but maybe again they were just trying a different design, see how things would work. But obviously then the nation continued to grow, and so that kind of threw off that design, right? So so it was 1837. So 1845, we're now adding Florida. 1846, we add Texas. 1847, we add Iowa. So 3 more states in 3 years. And we're now up to 29 stars. So in 1847. So now they came up with, it kind of went off the Great Star flag, and it's just called now the Star flag. And so you can see it's basically the Great Star, but they added 4 stars around the corners to that. And this is the actual flag here too. It's not just a graphic rendition of it. So Star flag in 1847. Well, I mean, yeah, well, that looks a little different. You know, I don't know if I was able to find that one. Oh, is this right? No. Well, that was the star flag, but anyway, something changed. Okay, so we're back to the regular stars going across, but now we're up to 30 stars in 1848 when we added Wisconsin. They changed the point to the top. Never saw the star flag before. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So we'll see. Very, very good observation, Joy, about the being upside down and stuff. So turning it around. So yes, 30 stars with Wisconsin added in 1848. 1851, we're up to 31 stars with California. 1858, we added another one, added Minnesota. Yeah, 100 years before I was born. 32 stars with Minnesota. 1859, Oregon was added. And 1861, we now have 34 stars with Kansas being added. So it says, even after the South seceded, now this is 1861, so we're looking right at the beginning of the Civil War. Okay. You know what? I was wrong about Fort Sumter. It was different. Was it Fort Henry? Is that where the flag was flying over with Francis Scott Key, Fort Henry? Because now Fort Sumter was during the Civil War. So, anyway, so yes. So even after the South seceded from the Union, President Lincoln would not allow any stars to be removed from the flag. So, and that's when the first Confederate flag came up. So, and that was adopted in Montgomery, Alabama. So then the flag that was flown over Fort Sumter looked like this. So again, a different star field going on, because we're up to 34 stars. The actual Union flag had all the stars going across, but it was probably pretty cool that Lincoln said, don't take any of those off. We are a union. We're just having differences right now, but we're still going to be together. So, which is kind of cool. So 1863, now 2 years later, still in the middle of the Civil War, we added West Virginia. 1865, we added Nevada. Now that was right at the end of the Civil War. And then in 1867, we added Nebraska. So I'm now up to 37 stars, 37 states. In 1876, now it was 100 years now that we were 100 years old, our country already been through a lot. So they made a centennial flag that looked like that. Oops, sorry. There we go. I was hitting some things. So that's the centennial flag. Still 13 stripes, but it's kind of cool that they did the 37 stars. They got that in the numbers. So, hey, Connie, how are you doing? So 100-year flag, centennial flag. I wonder if they ever tried anything like this with our bicentennial. It wouldn't have been that many more stars. That would have been kind of cool. Hopefully things will improve for you, Connie. Okay, then 1877, we added Colorado. Now we're up to 38 stars, and the official flag is still the stars going in a grid, and 13 stripes and everything. In 1877, they also tried to come up with a different design to see how that would look, and it's called another star flag. It's the 38 star flag is what it's called. Sorry, I keep getting drop downs. The 38 star flag, which is kind of cool. I don't know what the 4 stars would have been around the outside, because they would have been left out. They could have had 3 circles with, instead of a big star in the middle, they could put like 5 little stars or something. So I know, isn't that kind of nice? It's got kind of a neat look to it. Hey, Deb. Changing irrigation pipes. Oh, wow. I understand that time in life, Deb. Not easy. Not easy. My heart goes out to you. So I know. So in 18, now that was 1877. So now in 1889, 12 years later, um, they did have a flag with 39 stars, but the manufacturers believed that the two Dakotas would be admitted as one state, and so they manufactured the flag with only 38 stars in there. Apparently, some of those still exist, but it was never an official flag. So the poor Dakotas got the raw end of the deal. they never, they never actually, printed the flags with actually 39 stars. So, oh, yeah, I know, poor Dakotas. It's good to have you here, Deb. So, Connie, may blessings upon you. Okay, so then that was 1889. 1890, 1 year later, we add 4 more states. Well, it's North and South Dakota, Montana, 5 states, Montana, Washington, and Idaho. So now we're getting into the Northwest here, and still in the regular grid stars. What it is. So that was 1890. We added 5 states in 1 year. I can't imagine the paperwork. That would have been really a hectic time. But we're it's now 25 years after the Civil War, so things are being rebuilt, explorations going on. The country is growing, starting to get more industrial, agriculture, of course, all that kind of stuff is just growing. So 1891, we now add Wyoming. Let me see, where am I at here? So now we have 44 stars with Wyoming. Then 1892. That's 1492. 400 years after. The Pledge of Allegiance was first published in a magazine called The Youth's Companion, written by Francis Bellamy. So that's when that came about, which it took them long enough, over 100 years, to get the pledge written. So, but I think that's great. So 1896, we added Utah, and we now have 45 stars, 45 states in 1896. So 1 year later, in 1897, more statutes were developed for for honoring our flag and everything. It was called the Adoption of the State Flag Desecration Statutes. By the late 1800s, an organized flag protection movement was born in reaction to perceived commercial and political misuse of the flag. After supporters failed to obtain federal legislation, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and South Dakota became the first states to adopt flag desecration statutes. By 1932, all of the states had adopted flag desecration laws. So in general, these state laws outlined that placing any kind of marking on the flag, whether for commercial, political, or other purposes, they outlawed. Did I say outlawed or outlined? They outlawed that. You can't put any type of mark on the flag. You cannot use the flag in any form of advertising. Well, that's been blown right over. Because they use that on shirts and everything else. So advertising. You can't publicly mutilate, trample, deface, defile, define, or casting contempt, either by words or by act, upon the flag. Under the model flag desecration law, the term flag was defined to include any flag, standard, ensign, or color, or any representation of such made of any substance whatsoever and of any size that evidently purported to be said flag or a picture or representation thereof, upon which shall be shown the colors, the stars and stripes in any number, or by which the person seeing the same without deliberation may believe the same to represent the flag of the U.S. So I think of flags that are swimsuits or underwear, or if you carved one out of wood and, it not only decayed, but, well, um, I, I don't know. I mean, just, it's like, I know, holy cow is right. It's like, does anybody even know this anymore? um, Yeah, me too, Christy. Me too. So those laws are still in place, but I don't know if anybody even knows about any of that. So it doesn't say what the punishment is for it, and that might be per state. I don't know, but I would think there would be a federal law if it's the American flag versus the state flag, there might be different punishments for it or something. And then in 1907, so 10 years later, there was a case, a court case, Halter versus Nebraska. The Supreme Court holds that although the flag was a federal creation, the states had the authority to promulgate flag desecration laws under their general police power to safeguard public safety and welfare. Halter involved a conviction of two businessmen selling Stars and Stripes brand beer with representations of the U.S. flag affixed to the labels. The defendants did not raise any First Amendment claim. So putting it on the beer. So wasn't taught in school. I've not seen anything. I know it's totally gone by the wayside. I mean, people just. I was at a parade last Sunday, and it was an all band parade. They have it once a year near where I am, and so it's all marching bands, and of course it leads with the color guard, and as the color guard is coming down the street, I mean there's thousands of people along the street, and everybody's standing with their hands over their heart, and flags are flying, and it's just hush. It's so quiet. You could hear every little ripple in the flags and everything. And it was just amazing. I was just like, wow, it's so quiet. But it's just the honoring of, I think more people were probably honoring the military branches that they were representing there in the color guard, but also the flag too. It was, so we've got some pretty good patriotism out here out in the western part of Minnesota. So it was amazing. I've been to a lot of places where they've had, of course, the singing the stars. I mean, I was at the Twins baseball game a week and a half ago, and they were 2 weeks ago, and they were playing or singing the anthem, and people were talking and moving around and not listening, not paying attention, and there were others that were trying, and we had gotten there just a few minutes late, so we stopped and did our thing, but it was like so many people don't even recognize that as something patriotic in that way. So true, Christy. So true. So then in 1908, we added Oklahoma. We're up to 46 stars. In 1909, a year later, Robert Peary places the flag his wife sewed atop the North Pole. He left fragments of it as he traveled north. Kind of like a little trail, I guess. In 1912, President Taft signs an executive order which establishes proportions of the flag and specifies arrangement and orientation of the stars. So apparently it had shifted and it was all kind of different and different things like that. So anyway, then that same year they added New Mexico and Arizona. We're up to 48 stars. This is reading some other court case things that were coming up. So in 1942, President Roosevelt approves the federal flag code, providing for uniform guidelines for the display and respect shown to the flag. It does not prescribe any penalties for noncompliance, nor does it include any enforcement provisions. Rather, it functions simply as a guide for voluntary civilian compliance. So, again, like Christy said, there's just no respect anymore. So it's like, how do you teach somebody respect if it's not ingrained into them, you know? Oh, that's kind of cool, Christy. Yeah. So in 1959, Alaska entered the Union. Oh, so it was 59. In 1960, Hawaii entered, and that was 50 stars, 50 states. And that is the one that we have today, 50 stars and 13 stripes. So they're our old glory. They went on to different dates of different court things, as well as like a flag placed on top of Mount Everest, placed on the moon in 1969 by Neil Armstrong, some of these other landmark type of things. So what was it, in 2001? I mean, they showed a piece about the flag from the World Trade Towers that survived. Says it's now become a symbol of sacrifice in service, loss, and determination. So anyway, little history there, guys. It's been a while since I've done a history. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Again, here's the reason they won't admit PR is because another star won't. Oh, there's another area that they want to admit, and it would be disastrous for everybody to admit that one to the Union. The little bit of area that our capital is sitting on. So, I mean, it would just throw the balance off of everything. So, anyway, yeah, you can read some more on different things, and if you wanted to check that timeline out again and see all the stars, it was kind of good to see. There was a couple other. The resolution flag, the flag resolution of 1777, that's where it was the 13 stars in the Union in the field of blue. It said that the one who designed that was Francis Hopkinson in New Jersey. He was the very first designer. So Betsy Ross in sewing the first flag, and Francis Hopkinson was the one who designed it. So kind of an interesting bit there. Oh, you're welcome, Joy. You're welcome. I like finding out about all these things anyway. So no gardening stuff tonight, no homesteading stuff, just a little bit of history for the birthday of our country. How many years is it now? 246 years, right? It says 2023 minus 1776. So, oh, you're welcome. It is good to remember things. It really is. We just, where we've come and how things have been built rather than just, oh, Deb, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Well, you guys, our hour is up. So, thank you for coming along with me on this. And I just hope you all have a great 4th, um, great Independence Day. And let's stay strong for our country, right? Um, patriotism is a grace. So, anyway, y'all have a great week. Take care. God bless. Always have hope. And we'll see you next Monday. Good night.